Should have saved for that. Should have saved for that. Definitely should have saved for that. Hi, welcome back to Our Family Bee.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Brigitte, and if you're new here, we are all about building community, and we want you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and click subscribe down below.
Yeah, and if you've been watching for a while and you haven't clicked subscribe, what are you doing? Click it. Let's go. You should be part of this.
In this video, we're talking about the top 10 things that you should be saving for, but that you probably aren't. But first things first, you need to save $1,000 in an emergency fund.
Yeah, we follow Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. If you don't know what those are, stop right now, save $100, go pay for the course. We did this right after we got married and it completely changed our lives. And the first baby step he talks about is saving $1,000 in the bank, because you don't know when stuff's gonna happen. And the whole world knows that right now because of the season we're in, because of the viral thing.
After you've got your $1,000, which will protect you against any emergencies, there are 10 sinking funds, so things you save for every month that maybe get paid once a year or twice a year.
Or once every 10 years.
Yeah, that you need to be saving for because the expense will come up and
Yeah.
you need to be prepared. Number 1, car registration.
And your driver's license.
This expense comes up every year, and it's something you have to renew if you have a car.
For the car, you've got to re-up your tags every single year, and in some states you have an inspection you have to pay for every single year. You know this is coming, but every year it's like, oh, let me go pay $60. Well, if you're working a budget, where's that 60, 70, 40, whatever it is in your state, bucks coming from? And then your driver's license. You have to renew your driver's license every 8, 10 years, and if you move, you're supposed to get a new one within a week or a month or whatever that is, and that's an extra $15, $20, $30. You know these things are gonna come up, so make sure you go ahead and save $5 a month for your registration and your driver's license.
If you unfortunately get pulled over, the first thing the police officer is going to ask you for is license, registration, and car insurance. So number 2 is car insurance. You need to be saving for this every single month.
Yeah, and this is actually a big deal. You're like, why do I save? I pay it every month. Well, yeah, you probably do, but did you know that you're actually paying extra money each month to be able to pay it monthly? Your insurance carrier calculates your premiums in 6 or 12 months chunks, and what you pay is either the whole premium all at once, or they break it into payments, which are much smaller, but they tack on a bunch. In fact, what we found is that by saving for every 6 months premiums, yours might be a year, ours is 6 months. By saving for every 6 months premium, we save 20%. Might be 15, might be 22, probably not 25, but it's a huge chunk. That dog. There's a huge chunk that you're paying just for the privilege of paying it monthly. So start saving every month 1/6 or 1/12 of what you know your average full premium is.
And it may take a little while to get up to the point where you can pay it at the 6-month mark or at the year mark.
Might take a couple years to get there.
But it's so worth it because that's extra money in your pocket, and that's actually like over a month's worth that you're paying for, but you're not getting it.
So let's say you're paying $240 a month for your car insurance. Well, then your premium you're actually paying is $1,440. But if it's 20% they're charging for you to be able to pay it monthly, your actual premium is probably $1,200. And if you paid it in full, you'd pay $1,200 instead, which means you are paying an extra $240, a full month's worth, actually more, of premiums just for the privilege of being able to pay it monthly. So it might take a while, but start saving, stop letting them rob you. Unless you live in a major metropolitan area with an awesome public transport system, you probably need a car. But what you don't need and what nobody needs is debt hanging over your head. But it doesn't have to be a piece of junk. In fact, if you've got kids, you really shouldn't be driving around in something unreliable. But you can find a decent car for $2,000 or $3,000 if you're just getting started. And get a decent mechanic. Go to somebody who will look it over for you for free or for like $50 and say, yeah, this looks okay, or no, you didn't look at this and you didn't notice this. In a year, you can turn around and sell a $2,000 or $3,000 car for $2,000 or $3,000, and in that time you saved up a little more, and maybe now you can buy a $5,000 or $6,000 car. Cars lose a lot of value in their first few years of life, and by the time you get to a car that's got 80 or 100,000 miles on it, it's still a really good car, but it's way, way cheaper than it was new. Don't buy a new car. Also, bring cash with you when you buy. This is buying power. And don't be afraid to say, hey, this is my budget, this is how much I've got, I think this is a reasonable price for this car. Research, make sure it is a reasonable price for that specific car, and say, I've got the cash, and if you're not interested, that's okay. And walk away. Walking away is the most powerful thing you can do. Now, you can do this from a dealership, but if you can do it private party, have your mechanic check over the car, you're almost always going to be in a better position. This fund is also for repairs. I bought this car back in 2014. It's an 04 and it had 150,000 miles on it roughly. My mechanic said it was in great condition. I bought it for $4,600, which is a great deal even then, and I've put maybe $3,500 into it the whole time. Add all that together, I've paid less than $100 a month for this car. You know what you can get for $100 a month in car world? Nothing. So when you think about a reliable used car and you think, yeah, but it'll start having problems, yeah, probably. And it's still cheaper than a new car. Have a sinking fund for car maintenance and replacement.
Oh hey, I'm standing here in front of our Christmas decorations because the fourth thing that you need to make sure you're saving for every month is Christmas. It's Christmas again? Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. But Christmas comes every single year. Make sure you're saving for it every single month. Decide ahead of time how much you want to spend per person, or decide on an overall budget and then divide it up on the people that you need to buy gifts for. And you know what? You can be creative. There are tons of ideas on Pinterest where you can make bulk items or even homemade goodies that are so creative that you can be frugal and stay within your budget. But this is something you need to be saving for every single month.
I have a phone. You have a phone. If you're a human that lives in almost every country in the world right now, this computer that sits in our pockets has become a necessity almost for professional world, for social lives. You need to have this thing to communicate with people. The newer flagship smartphones, the ones with the high-end specs that most of us buy, whether it be an iPhone or a high-end Android, they start at $1,000. And you might think, but I don't see that price, I don't pay that, because really what I do is I pay it $25 to $40 a month through my carrier. If you multiply $40 a month out times 24 months, you know what you get? That's $960. It's $1,000, and if it's a couple bucks off, that's okay. They're willing to run the risk because the entire time that you're paying that phone off, you don't actually own that phone. If it breaks, you pay the difference. Oh, but I pay the insurance. Okay, so you pay another $15 to $30 a month for them to replace it, but then if it breaks, you're still paying like $150 or $200 deductible. You're still paying more in the end. Instead, save up. And again, this might take time, but save up every month. Save up $15, $20, $50, whatever it is, depending on the type of phone you want. And then when it's time, I recommend waiting until Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or a month or so before the newer models are set to come out, because that's when you're gonna get the best deals. Don't buy phones at full price unless you absolutely have to. Wait for the best deals. And if you saved up cash, you can go and get a high-end flagship smartphone for several $100s less than you would normally spend. I got a Note 9 2 years ago. That was a $1,000 phone for $650. I got the international unlocked model on eBay brand new for $630. That's a lot less than $1,000. And then when it's time to replace it, you can sell your old one. We usually use a site called Swappa, SWAPPA.com. You can go there, they'll give you all the pricing data for your phone, what it's worth in different levels of varying conditions, and you can also buy used phones there. We've done both buying and selling. I do prefer to go with a carrier like T-Mobile or AT&T where you use a GSM. That means you have a SIM card so you can put it in any phone you want that's unlocked. When you go to one of these sites like Amazon or eBay or Swappa, make sure you get the unlocked US version, and you're definitely good to go with those. And you're gonna spend several $100s less, or you can sell your old phone to a friend for less and help them out. You can keep it and turn it into a phone for your kid to use as a remote for the TV, or to do educational stuff. Or you can keep one as a backup in case your phone breaks. And when your phone breaks, you don't owe a company money. It's your phone. You bought it, you broke it, you deal with the consequences. It always saves money in the end. Trust me, save monthly for your phone.
Hey, I just wanted to say, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the button right here and check out our website at ourfamilybee.com because we have some cool stuff over there. We have a newsletter. Go check us out and follow us on Instagram at OFB Social. We want to see you over there, so comment and say, hey, I'm new. Okay, back to the video. The sixth thing that you need to make sure you're saving for in a sinking fund is vacation. Everyone needs time away, even if it's one night in a place that's not that expensive. When you're married, you need to be able to spend time with your spouse. I mean, kids who say, Mommy, Daddy, every 30 seconds. We all need a break just from the mundane and the daily chores and schedules and cooking and cleaning. We need time away. It's healthy for us as individuals, and it's healthy for married couples too.
Yeah, and I've found that, especially for her, because she has to get all the things done all the time. If we're home, even if we don't have the kids with us, she has to do the things. She won't just stop and be for a little while. So getting away is good for us all. It helps us reset a little bit, get out of our environment, not have to do all the time, but it costs money. Now, we've got a system for how we save a lot of money when we go on vacation, on hotels and things like that, and we can talk about that in another video, but the point is, you're gonna do it. So you should save for it. So if it's once every 6 months or once a year, save a little bit more every month so that when it's time, you can pay for a few nights at a hotel. What if you could put away 40, 50 bucks a month for vacation? You'd be able to get away for a few nights and not have to worry about breaking the bank to do it.
So make sure you're saving a little bit every month in your sinking fund for vacation. The seventh thing that you need to make sure you're saving for, but that you probably aren't, is your annual membership subscription. So this might include Amazon or Costco. So make sure that you're putting aside money every single month to pay for that when it comes due. And if you decide not to renew it for some reason, then hey, you just got a bonus. But most of the time we decide to renew the things that we've come to depend on, like 2-day shipping or even 1 day nowadays. Yes, please. Then when it comes time to renew, you're not like, oh my gosh, I forgot. No, you've been saving, you've been planning, and you can pay for it without guilt or fear or anything because you know the money is there. So for us, we save $10 a month for Costco and $9 a month for Amazon. So now every year when it's due, we have the money, it's already there. The principle of a sinking fund is that no matter what it is you're saving for, take that amount, divide it up by 12 if it's due annually, or if it's due every 10 years, how many months is that in 10 years, and divide it up to say, this is how much I need to save every month so that when this time comes, I can have the money set aside. So don't forget to save in a sinking fund for yearly memberships. Number 8, your mattress.
If you're a human, 99% of you sleep on a mattress. You know you're gonna have to buy one of these every 8 to 10 years. They last a long time if they're decent, but they don't last forever. But we always forget it, and it's like, oh, I gotta replace this mattress. It's got a big hole in the middle or whatever it is. And then where's the money after that? What if the money was just there? What if you saved a little each month for that? Do you know that the average person spends about 1/3 of their life on that mattress?
Yeah, that's 229,961 hours. So that place better be comfortable. I want my mattress to be comfortable because I don't like waking up, aches and pains in my back and neck because I'm not motivated to do anything at that point.
And she'll tell me about the aches and pains in the back of her back and her neck.
And since I want to feel like my best in the morning, I want my mattress to be comfortable. Yes, it's an investment, but it's well worth it.
Yeah, these mattresses will usually cost between $800 and $2,000 for the average one if you're an adult couple. So save up for that. Save $20 to $40 a month, and when it's time, it'll be there, and you can pick which one you want and buy it in cash.
So don't forget to add a sinking fund for your next mattress. The 9th thing that you need to be making sure you're saving for every single month that you probably aren't is medical bills. You just don't know when something's gonna come up that you're gonna need to pay for that medical care. Depending on what type of medical insurance you have a copay, or you might pay a percentage of the bill, but you need to make sure you're saving for that every month so that when that bill comes due, you can pay for it. And let's not forget about dental or vision. Those things often will require a copay or a certain amount extra if you need glasses or if you need to have a procedure like a cavity filled at the dentist. Those things will cost money. So what we have done is over the past few years, we've kind of figured out what we spend typically on average per month on these type of expenses, and we put that aside every month. We also include in this category vitamins, or if we go to the store and get ibuprofen or Tylenol or stuff for the kids, like I have a whole bin here for stuff for the kids to have on hand. All of that we put in our medical out-of-pocket expenses. This is different from our medical insurance category because this is stuff that we pay on top of the insurance, but it's stuff that everyone still has. So we need to make sure we're saving money so that when we have that bill that comes in, we are able to pay it and we're able to put our health and wellness as a priority because we've planned for it, we've saved for it, and we have a sinking fund for it. So are you saving for your medical expenses? If you are, let me know in the comments down below. And if any of these have been helpful for you, tell me which ones, because we love to know what resonates with you guys, because these are things that we have found very helpful over the last few years of budgeting, and we want to know, is this helpful for you? We let everything roll over to the next month so that we build a bigger fund, because sometimes stuff's going to cost more than something else. So if we have a dental procedure, that's going to cost more than if we just went to go buy $5 worth of medicine at the store, because we want to put our health and wellness as a priority. So we need to make sure we're budgeting for it and saving for it every single month.
Number 10, Last but definitely not least is giving. Generosity toward any people, whether that be something at church or just giving a present to someone. For us, we believe that the first 10% of our income should go to our local church. That's a tithe or a tenth of everything we make. That's the first for us, and that's always the first thing we budget for. Past that, where you might give more there, or you might give to a charity that you believe in. These are important things to do. I think generosity is an important part of being a human being. It's in our nature to give to others, and so we budget for that.
Yeah, I mean, we all feel good when we get to give something to someone, even if it doesn't cost a lot of money. We set aside a certain amount every month to be able to bless people when we think of them, like making them a meal, buying them a meal, when we go out, buying them coffee. We want to be able to give to people, and so we budget for it. We set a certain amount every month so that we can use that when we think of people.
And you might think this might not occur to you much, but there are things that frequently come up once a year where you're being asked to give to something. It might be as simple as like the Wikipedia yearly drive they do to get donations to run the website, or it might be like at our church we have a Christ birthday offering every year that we like to give a substantial gift to, because it all goes to missions, whether it's drilling wells in India or helping feed people in other countries or just missions projects locally. This is something we love to give to, so we set aside a certain amount every month just for that.
There are 3 things we can do with money: spend, save, and give. This is where the last 2 come together. Save so we can give later. Which of these 10 things was most helpful for you? Is there a sinking fund that we forgot to mention that you actually save for? Leave a comment down below and let us know. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit the button right here. And if you want to check out more videos by us, check them out right up here and right over here. Until we meet again, don't forget, life is better together.
It's hot. Too hot. Hot ham.
Call the police and firemen.
Good, it was okay, right?
Bam.
We can edit for that. Okay, what else?